Hey everybody, I'm here to talk to you today about what it means to be an epic Christian. An epic Christian. My favorite definition of the word epic is extending beyond the usual. The world today is filled with a lot of usual Christians. And the usual Christian says, hey, that's not my job. That's what the pastor gets paid to do. The usual Christian says, hey, I'm not responsible for that. That's what preachers are supposed to do. And the usual Christian says, hey, I'm not called to do that. That sounds more like what missionaries are called to do. But the word epic contradicts the word usual and extends it beyond into the unusual. When I think of an epic Christian, I think of the verse Romans 12:1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. You see, when Paul wrote these words, he wasn't speaking specifically to pastors and preachers here. He wasn't speaking to disciples. He was speaking to Christians, to all Christians. The charge was, hey, you're called to live a separated life. To every day present your bodies a living sacrifice, giving up your own selfish desires, giving up your own selfish wants, and considering others above you. Living a life that's holy and acceptable into the eyes of the Lord. I think epic Christians take this verse to heart and strive to their fullest to live it out. An epic Christian says, hey, I am responsible. Hey, being a Christian alone is a high calling. An epic Christian searches for the opportunity to share the love of Christ. An epic Christian is not ashamed. And I really enjoy the last two words of this verse. It really captivates me every time I read it. The last portion says again, which is your reasonable service. I interpret that as, that's the least that I can do. After what Jesus Christ did on the cross for my sins, after the pain that He suffered, after the shame that He encountered, after He saved my soul, that's the least that I can do, is to live a sanctified life, striving to live the life holy and acceptable in His eyes, to consider others above myself and make sacrifices on a daily basis for His sake. Hey, that's the least that I could do. I challenge you today. Be an epic Christian. Extend yourself beyond the usual into the unusual. And give God all the glory.